Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be continuing with our two Centaurs. As you can see, they are both painted up to the same standard. The same amount of work has been done on them both. So what we need to do next is basically the finishing touches. Now this particular painting series may go over 3 videos yet. It all depends. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take to get this next bit done, but with having to cut the previous one a little shorter than I was expecting, who knows, but we'll find out. Let's get on with it, shall we? So first step, we want to paint the stag skull there. So for that we're going to use what are we going to use? And what we're going to use Ushabti bone. Alright, so that's the one I'm using in this. I'm just making some room, so we'll add the Ushabti bone into, let me just, oh, that's better. We'll add the Ushabti bone into the palette, or onto the palette rather, not into it. And there we are. Pop that in there like so. Into that, just a little bit, and I mean a very little bit, of the Bugman's Glow, just to change the colour slightly. We don't want it changed too much. And we'll also add just a spot of the Eshin Grey as well to grey it down a little. Yeah, that looks okay. So I'm going to first of all use this brush that we've just applied the paint to the palette with, and I'll just go over the larger areas. Anywhere that's more detailed, we'll hang on and do them with a finer brush. This will actually take a lot less time than if we did it all with a finer brush, I know. But this one is a case of mix and match your brushes. There's quite a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? There's quite a bit of bone area that we need to do. I'm trying to work out exactly why they've got the antlers here, because as we all know, antlers aren't made of bone, but oh well. Not to worry. So that's that stage done. I'm just going to get a narrower brush and with that I'll put this bigger one down, and with that we'll do the more detailed areas. So bear in mind, this is like a helmet he's wearing, made from a stag's skull. And all you need is to be able to get it all covered, trying not to miss anywhere. If I go over the staff that he's carrying, then I'm not really bothered because I haven't painted that bit yet, and it's going to be a darker colour anyway, so as I say, I'm not really too interested in being neat around that. I just really want the neatness to be around the face. But there we are, that's all we have to do with that one, as you can see. It's looking alright. So I'll just do that with the other one and then we'll come back. Okay, so there we are, that's both of the skull helmets are done. As you can see that. Next, what I'm going to do is using a pale grey colour, which will be not quite that pale, Administratum grey. We don't need a terribly great amount of this, but we do need to pop some down. First off, with this one, we're going to be using this on the wraps. Now, there's not much difference between this colour and the primer. This is slightly, and I mean slightly, paler. So I'll just go over and do the wraps on the arms and also on these areas. I don't know why I'm doing, in fact I'm not going to do them areas yet, because I'm going to be painting that with a little more darker colour. So I don't want to keep going over that. So I might as well wait until I've painted the staff before I do the wraps there. So that's one done. And we have one more. I seem to have these wraps everywhere. But we'll just pop some colour on each one, just to tie them all in together. Make them all look near enough the same. And just have the arm here to do now, and then that's it for this stage. And when we come back, we'll be painting something slightly different. So we'll just leave the video in here, and when we come back we'll be continuing with something else. Okay, there we are. That is the wraps done. The next step we're going to have is the wooden staff. Now that, I want to make it look wooden, so we're going to be using, surprisingly enough, a brown colour. It's not one I think we've actually used for any of these Mythic Battles Pantheon minis before, but it's one we have used plenty of times before. It's Dryad Bark. So we'll get some of this on our palette. But we don't need a great deal. And we'll simply just go over the entire staff. Making sure not to paint the antlers. The staff is supposed to be in front of the antlers and not actually a part of them, but the way it's moulded, I suppose for easiness, it is actually attached to. So we just have to be a little careful in where we're applying the paint. I know I have just gone over the antler because I can't actually see in there properly to be that careful. And just go around the hand, trying not to go on the hand. And the next step is just these areas here around the fireball that it's holding. Well, the idea now is to make sure that we get the wooden part and not the actual flame part. It's slightly tricky trying to work out what part's what, but it's kind of obvious really. The fun part is trying to paint the fireball and the long stream of flame it's leaving. But I think that is it for the staff, so I'm going to do the other one now quickly and then I'll get back to you. That's it for that bit. I'm sure on this one I've missed a couple of places. I have missed that little step there. So I'll just go back and touch that one up. That needs covering again. And I'm sure there's another bit. Yeah. There we go. That's that done. Now we've done that, near enough everything is ready to be oh, start again. Everything's ready now to be near enough finished. What I want to do before I do anything else is the stonework here, and for that we're going to use no, not that one. I'll pick that one up. That's not the one I wanted at all. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Nope. That's what I'm looking for. Found it eventually. You'll be able to see why I got confused. The fang is the one we're using. It is like a bluey grey colour. I'm going to add that onto the palette, like so. And this is going on all the little pieces of stone that we see here, scattered around his person. Little stone medallions. This is basically a nice undercoat kind of thing, nice base coat for stone. This is a lovely shadow for the paler grey colours that we're putting over the top of it. There's not going to be a vast amount of highlighting on these because they're only small pieces. We will, however, be doing what we can to make them stand out. If you ever see me doing stonework, I have a tendency of using the fang usually over black. I usually base coat it black and then do dry brushes with the fang and then a couple of different shades of grey over the top of that. But in this case, because there's not much and I don't want to run the risk of adding too much over the runes that are etched in the stones, I'm just going to go with this as the base coat and then just a quick pale dry brushy kind of thing over the top. And that should hopefully pull out all the bits of all the runes that make them stand out. Assuming, of course, because some of these are quite shallow, they may not stand out as well as I hope they're going to, but we'll soon find out. So that's what we're going to do for both of these. So I'll do that with the other one now, and when we return we'll continue. Okay, so that's the runes done. I've noticed as well that I have actually missed one of the little straps on the horse, so I'll just make sure I pop that in now. There we are. So that's that bit done. Next job is now this staff should be dry. I'm going to go over the straps on the staff. Exactly the same colour we used earlier for the other ones. Not doing anything out of the ordinary with this one as that we haven't done with the others. Just make sure that it's all, that's it, given some coverage. And then we're going to come along and wash these. And then when we come back, we can highlight and what's the word I'm looking for? We can then highlight and oh dear Lord, the grain switched off, and finish off the Mini. So first off, the body of the horse. We're going to do that with, when I can find it, where are you, where are you, where are you? Is that you? That's you. Drachenhof Nightshade. It's a nice bluey grey colour. I think it'll go rather well for this. In fact, I'm going to go through look at the stones that we've just painted or wash with this as well. In fact, I'll do the straps all over the horse's body. We will run this. Even I'll also do the strappings as well. So as I say, it's a nice bluey grey colour, lovely shadow colour. If you're doing like a, I'm hoping I've got another tub of this left because there's not much left in this tub. But I'll find out. I don't quite have enough to cover. I'll do the other one in null oil. We just need a dark colour, and this one I think is the better choice because it's not as black as the null oil. There we are. So we'll just leave that to dry when it's all covered. The hooves, as you know, I've not painted, but I've just washed it with this colour, so it will give a different colour anyway, so hopefully that will be all it needs. Hard part is trying to get my brush into all the little nooks and crannies without getting the wash where I don't want it to go. Sorry, I've just gone off camera again. Let me just tilt this up a little bit. Hopefully now you can see everywhere that I've put this. And just going to go over the straps now and the body to tie them in with ones on the horse. I've just realised, just noticed that I've missed some over the staff, on the inside of the staff, so I'm going to have to go back, and do that. But again, not vitally important. It's not a big mistake, rather, should I say. It's just a little correction I have to make. As you can see, as you look up there, it's not painted. Okay, so that's it for that one. I'll do the next one off camera, but as I said, I just want to go ahead and make sure that that staff is painted as it should be. It's not easy, as I say, to get to, but it's there now. I'm not going to paint the straps on that the same colour. I'm going to do that to tie in with the wad. But that's all I can do for this video. In fact, no, it isn't, because there is one more thing I can do. Because it's a wash, I'll put the lid on that for the time being, and I can look for the paint that I want, which I've just found, which is Agriculture Shade, and this one will go over the antlers and the skull. Okay, so this will get covered. I'm going to try and get everything done that I need to get in this video, so that when we come back to the next one, we'll have it exactly where we want it and we can just get on with it, get it highlighted and not need to worry. So that's all we're going to do with this. Yep. I'm making sure we get everywhere washed, because if we missed any, it will stand out like a sore thumb. So look at the top, make sure everything at least is done there, and then we'll do the wraps there, and that is what we've got so far. Join me next time when we get the flames done, we'll do all the highlighting and we'll finish the miniatures. Until then, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.